In this video, a drunk 20-year-old goes live on Facebook while opening fire on a family with a 7-month-old baby. A father walks into a child safety office while live streaming himself, only for a custody dispute to turn into an attack on the caseworker.
You was a dead man.
And a man calmly confesses to killing and eating parts of a family friend who had been living inside the same home.
He made his heart. That's the only part I did eat. I didn't eat his head. I tasted some of it.
These are 6 of the most disturbing final moments ever captured on Livestream. Let's dive straight into the first clip.
Oh, I just tried to pop a shot with safety on.
On November 8, 2016, 20-year-old Anthony Galea went live on Facebook while heavily intoxicated, drinking, waving a handgun, and making threats to the people watching. At first, it looked like the kind of reckless live stream where someone is trying to look dangerous for an audience. But the longer it went on, the more obvious it became that this was not just empty talk. Anthony was armed, unstable, and surrounded by people who could not talk him down. But the situation became even more disturbing because of where he was heading. Anthony had previously made unwanted advances toward a married woman named Brittany Southwell. She had rejected him, and that rejection would soon become the center of something far more horrifying. Anthony broke into Brittany's home, where she was inside with her husband, Tyler, and their 7-month-old baby. He went down into the basement and opened fire.
Look at, I smell bacon. Oh my God. There's bacon. They got somebody. You know what's funny? I could go over there right now and pop a pig in the fucking head. I could go pop a pig in the head. Fuck it, I don't even like my life. I don't like my life. No hugs, no laws, no nothing for me. I don't give a fuck. I got one in the chamber right now. I have no problem. Baby, stop. Okay, actually, I almost want to shoot this gun off right now. Almost. But almost isn't enough, right? I'm so scared. What's up? What's up, Lion? Does someone talk to me? Alright, who wants some beef? Alright, if there's just one of you, then I'll fight you. But if there's more than one, I'll fucking shoot. What's up? I'm fucking crazy. Guaranteed crazy. There's my pistol. I'm gonna pop right in them. Oh, I just tried to pop a shot with safety on. Woo! Those cows right there! Who's the real motherfucker in this bitch? Who's the real motherfucker in this bitch? Huh? Who's the real motherfucker? Who's crazy? Who's crazy? Who's crazy? Who's crazy? Who's crazy? Stop! Get out of here.
I don't fucking know. You're dumb. You're being dumb.
What's up? See me in the area Brotherhood prison. See me there.
The shots missed Tyler and the child, but Brittany was struck and later died from her injuries. That is what makes this case so chilling. Brittany was not involved in a fight. She had not gone looking for trouble. She was a young wife and mother inside her own home, killed by a man who could not accept being told no. After the shooting, Anthony fled, but investigators later caught him while he was trying to escape toward Mexico. At the police station, detectives questioned him carefully. They did not immediately tell him Brittany had died. Instead, they let him believe the situation might not be as serious as it really was, hoping he would keep talking.
Took a shot to the door. Why did we do that?
Ignorance.
Ignorance?
Pure
Trying to
ignorance.
scare somebody?
Dude, I fucked up, dude. I'm probably gonna go for fucking 20 years or something.
No. No.
I mean, even if I did, you know, I do care, but you know, I probably
Nobody-
deserve it, dude.
No, nobody's dead or anything like that. Okay?
Alright.
So, felonious,
Felonious assault
probably.
of our... When I was 16 years old, I got that.
Well, that's your 16-year-old stuff goes away. Okay?
I don't know, dude.
I just need to know the truth because I'm getting bits and pieces.
Well, no, I mean, I'm giving you the truth. I'm not lying to you.
Off your chest, you're going to feel a lot better.
Dude,
So-
I don't know what I did.
Okay, so you go in there, you have the gun, okay? You know what you did because you're telling me I made a bad choice.
I do know what I did. I kicked in the door, and that's all I remember.
Okay, and you had a gun.
Yeah, and I do remember popping a shot at the floor, and that's all I remember.
Okay.
And I don't even remember what the place looked like. I went downstairs. The dude, all I seen the dude do is shut the door. And then when he shut the door, I took a shot at the door, but I did it to the left.
Okay.
When I shut the door, I shot it at the left. Because when he shut the door,
He seen you with the gun, he shut the door.
well, at first he tried to come at me, but when he seen the gun, he took off.
Okay.
And then, I shot the left side of the door, the very left side of the door, I think, or something. I wouldn't be able to know unless I've seen it. But, I shot the very left side of the door, but I wasn't aiming at anybody, because I could have killed everybody in that house if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
My
Okay,
brother-
so anyways, after you shoot, what happens from there? You just guys turn around and go get out?
Yeah, I got out of the house, yeah.
So you guys get in the car, you take off. Where were you planning on going?
Oh, I was gonna grab all my money out of my safe and head to Mexico.
Because you know you messed up.
Yeah, I fucked up, dude. I wanted to go.
Okay.
I wanted to leave.
Yeah, that's what I would do too.
Well, shit.
And you gotta make an effort, right? Those 19.
Well, shit, dude, I wish I never fucked up like this, because I swear to God, I make good money.
During the interrogation, Anthony tried to minimize what happened. He admitted he went inside the home with the gun. He admitted firing. But he claimed he had not meant to hit anyone, even saying that if he had wanted to kill everyone in the house, he could have. But that statement only made the case more disturbing, because a woman was dead. A husband and baby had survived by chance, and the live stream had already shown the world exactly how unstable Anthony had been before he ever walked into that house. Anthony Galea was later convicted of first-degree murder, first-degree home invasion, and felony firearm possession. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole, and his attempts to overturn the conviction were rejected. What began as a drunk Facebook live stream turned into a home invasion, a murder, and the final moments of a young mother who had done nothing except reject the wrong person. But this was not the only time a live stream captured something irreversible.
You gonna dap me up? You was a dead man.
On November 5th, 2024, 32-year-old DeAndre Terrell Johnson walked into an Arizona Department of Child Safety office in Mesa while live streaming himself on Facebook. He was there because of an ongoing custody case involving his 9-year-old daughter. But what should have been a tense conversation with a caseworker quickly turned into something much more dangerous. Johnson was angry because the caseworker had spoken to his daughter without him present. To Johnson, that moment seemed to confirm everything he already believed, that the system was moving against him, and that the man sitting in front of him had crossed a line. But instead of leaving the office or fighting the case in court, Johnson kept recording, and within seconds, the live stream became evidence of the exact kind of danger people were worried about. Johnson suddenly attacked the caseworker from behind, locking his arms around his neck and choking him while the camera continued to record.
All this DCS, I want to introduce you so that we can have a proper introduction on this. I want to introduce you. Don't be afraid. You hold a public position, man. All right, man. All right, so we'll be in touch. Sounds like a plan. On that, yeah. All right. You was dead me. You was a dead me. The moment you took my daughter in that room and you couldn't tell me, you couldn't show me video or this for any worker that think that they found put my daughter and think they ain't got to talk to me. You was a dead man.
The caseworker had almost no chance to react. One moment, he was walking away from the conversation. The next, he was trapped in a chokehold inside the lobby of a government office. That is what makes this footage so disturbing. It was not happening in a hidden room or an isolated parking lot. It was happening in a workplace, in broad daylight, while other people were nearby. And still, the attack continued long enough for the caseworker to lose consciousness. The victim's body went limp, and Johnson dropped him onto the floor. But even then, the attack was not over.
Go ahead, call the cops. I'll be waiting. Anybody else think it's okay to take little girls in the room? Anybody else think it's okay? Huh? Is it okay to take little girls in the room? The it's not. I don't know what position y'all hold. You take my in the room, this is what will happen to you. You still breathing? Back up. No. I called the cops already. And they didn't want to do nothing. I couldn't. Nobody take my daughter to No, I didn't. He's still breathing. I ain't making No, I didn't.
Hey, what can I say? Leave him alone. What are you doing with doing this to this guy?
When Johnson realized the caseworker was still breathing, he returned and started choking him again. By then, co-workers had gathered around, screaming for him to stop, but the situation remained terrifyingly out of control. The most frustrating part of the footage is how helpless everyone around them seemed. People were yelling. They were trying to reason with him, but for far too long, no one was able to physically stop what was happening. Eventually, Johnson let the caseworker go. And despite claiming he was not afraid of police, he left the building before officers arrived. He was captured hours later after fleeing from law enforcement. The caseworker survived, but prosecutors later described his injuries as life-threatening. And the live stream that Johnson had recorded became one of the most important pieces of evidence against him. In July 2025, a jury convicted Johnson of attempted first-degree murder, unlawful flight from law enforcement, and 4 misdemeanor counts of disorderly conduct. 2 months later, in September 2025, he was sentenced to 17.5 years in prison. And that is what makes this case so disturbing. Johnson went into that office angry about losing access to his daughter. But by live streaming the attack, he recorded the very thing that showed why people around that child had reason to be concerned. He wanted to prove he had been wronged. Instead, He nearly killed a man who was simply doing his job, and made sure the whole thing was captured on camera. But sometimes the most chilling part is not what happens on camera. It is what the camera reveals afterward. On August 28, 2017, people walked into the Clovis Carver Public Library in New Mexico expecting an ordinary afternoon. For some, it was a quiet place to work. For others, it was somewhere to read, use a computer, bring their children, or simply escape the heat outside for a while. A library is one of the last places where anyone expects violence. It is supposed to be calm, public, and safe, the kind of building where people lower their voices without even thinking about it. But that afternoon, a 16-year-old named Nathaniel Jouet entered the library, carrying 2 handguns he had taken from his father's gun safe. Before he arrived, Nathaniel had recorded disturbing videos of himself. In them, he spoke like someone who had already separated himself from the life he was about to destroy.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel Ray Jewett, and I was making this because it's about to be 0 hour. My thing was when I lost hope, or when I just couldn't take it anymore, is when I was gonna do it. It's that time. By the time you're watching this, the deed would have already been done. And by the deed, I'm not sure what it is yet. I'm just gonna go trolley along, find something to do. First off, I'm gonna say I'm sorry to anyone that's gonna be affected by this. This is a tough subject. I wanna say I'm sorry to my family. I know, just remember, happier times. Oh, I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom. I acted alone. This was no one's fault. It's kind of my own. I'm angry at the world, and I have so much anger, and I can't time at you right. I have so much anger, frustration, and just hopelessness. This needed to happen. It's probably gonna shock a lot of people. No one's ready for this. I'm really mad. I'm in a really mad mood, and this is kind of for people getting bullied, because I'm blaming, that's one of the big reasons, and just because I'm sick. Thanks to everyone that was nice to me, and yeah, alright, I just gotta...
At around 4:15 that afternoon, Nathaniel walked into the Clovis Carver Public Library. For a brief moment, nothing about him would have told the people inside what was about to happen. He was just another teenager entering a public space. But then, he went into the restroom. Inside, he prepared himself for the attack. And moments later, he stepped back out into the library. The silence of that ordinary afternoon was suddenly broken. People who had been reading, working, or sitting with their families were thrown into panic almost instantly. Some tried to hide, others ran. Parents grabbed their children. Strangers looked for cover wherever they could find it. Nathaniel opened fire inside the library, hitting multiple people in only a matter of seconds.
That door, Rick? Come on. Come on, go What are you doing? What? You idiot!
Papa, please save me.
I'm at the library. Somebody's required for shooting. There's 2 people laying dead up.
Okay. Whatever you do, don't die.
2 library employees, Wanda Walters and Chrissy Carter, were killed. 4 others were wounded, including a 10-year-old boy named Noah Molina and his older sister, Alexis Molina, who was reportedly shot while trying to protect him. And in the middle of that chaos, one of the most heartbreaking moments was when the young boy, terrified and hiding inside the library, cried out for his father to save him.
Papa! Please, save me.
This was not just a crime scene. It was a place full of families, children, workers, and ordinary people who had no reason to believe they were in danger until it was already happening. As emergency calls began flooding in, officers rushed toward the library. They did not know exactly how many people had been shot. They did not know where the gunman was still inside, and they did not know how many people were still trapped. All they knew was that shots had been fired in a public library, people were down, and children were still inside.
Put your hands up where I can see them. Step away from the door. Step away from the door. Do it now. Do it. Go. Come out. Step away. Step away. Step out. Come out. Step out. Step out. Step out. Let him get out. You don't know who, you know who's shooting? No, we don't. Okay. He was in there the whole while. Get back in there. Get back in there and stay. Close the door and block it. Don't let anybody else in. I'm going in. Go. Police! Show me your hands. It's police. Police! Come here. Come here. Show me your hands. Show me your hands. Come on. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's go. Out. Come on. Yeah. Get in. Right over there. Clear.
When officers arrived, the scene was filled with confusion. People were trying to escape. Others were hiding behind doors, shelves, and furniture, terrified that any movement could draw attention. Officers had to move fast, but they also had to make sure they were not mistaking victims for a threat. And for the people inside, every instruction from police came while their minds were still trying to process what had just happened. Eventually, officers located Nathaniel and took him into custody without further gunfire. But by then, the damage had already been done.
Go. Something right there. Put your hand there. Keep your hands in. Anybody else? I'm in. Stay right there, okay? Stay right there. You're all right.
Two women who had simply been working inside the library had lost their lives. 4 others had been injured. A brother and sister had been shot. Families had been shattered. And a building that had once felt harmless became the setting of a memory the survivors would carry forever. After the shooting, investigators learned that Nathaniel was only 16 years old. He had entered the library with 2 handguns taken from his father's gun safe. Police later said he did not appear to know the victims personally. The people inside had not been targeted because of who they were. They were simply there, inside a public library on an ordinary afternoon when someone else's anger became their nightmare. Nathaniel was later charged as an adult and pleaded guilty to numerous felony charges, including 2 counts of first-degree murder. In 2019, he was sentenced to 2 concurrent life sentences, plus an additional 40 years in prison. But even that sentence could not erase what made the footage so haunting. It was the recording he made before the attack. The families running through a place that was supposed to be safe. The sound of a child begging for help. And the image of a father moving toward danger because his son was still inside. For the survivors, the attack did not end when Nathaniel was arrested. It continued in hospital rooms, courtrooms, trauma, and memories that would never fully leave them. And for the families of Wanda Walters and Chrissy Carter, it ended with 2 women going to work at a public library and never coming home. That is what makes this case so disturbing. It was not a dark alley, a dangerous road, or a place where anyone expected violence. It was a quiet room full of books, workers, parents, and children. And in just a few minutes, a place built for peace became the scene of one of the most haunting recorded attacks in New Mexico history. But believe it or not, this next live stream took an even darker turn.
He made his heart. That's the only part I did.
In 2012, a disturbing case out of Maryland began with a missing person report. The victim was 37-year-old Kujoy Bonsafo Agye Cody, a Ghanaian man who had been staying with the Kinua family in Joppatown. He had been living in their home for several weeks when he suddenly disappeared, leaving behind personal belongings that made his absence feel immediately suspicious. At first, investigators were looking for a missing man, but days later, the case took a turn no one could have prepared for. A member of the Kinua family went into the basement and discovered something horrifying hidden inside containers. What he found was so disturbing that police were called back to the home, and the investigation quickly shifted from a missing person case into something far darker.
Last night, right before I took a shower, so I went down to the basement and I opened the laundry door and I saw my blanket on top of a box. And as I was lifting the blanket up, I saw two pans. So I lifted up the pans and in it I saw 3 different objects, and they were kind of black and it looked like hands and a head. I stopped what I was doing. I went upstairs and I asked Alex, come down here. And I asked him, what is it? And he said, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's none of your business and all that stuff. And he started avoiding my question.
The suspect was Alex Kinua, the eldest son in the home and a former Morgan State University student. And what made the case even more unsettling was that Alex had already shown signs of extreme violence before Kujoy disappeared. Just days earlier, he had been released on bail after a separate attack involving another student. When police searched the house, they found evidence that pointed directly toward him. Human remains, bloodstains, weapons, and recordings that showed a deeply disturbed state of mind. In one of those videos, Alex spoke in a way that now sounded almost like a warning, rambling about skulls, bodies, and violence with a calmness that made the footage even harder to process.
Yeah. I beat open your bed and I jerked off and I squashed on. You got something to say, man? You can look at on your bed. Hope you have a good night's sleep. DP on them freaks. Super freak, huh? You like them super freaks? So I got you one. It's all over your bed. Playing games with out here. Who's playing with you? Nobody's playing with you. Matter of fact, I don't have the respect to be calling no more. So this will fucking happen, so that you keep doing that shit again, that's gonna keep fucking happening. Listen, next time shit will be that boy. Here's what fucking happened. See your fucking clothes? Go look in your bed. Fuck, I left your fucking surprise. That's just me. All the names are put on the board. Now, as it tells a story, and it unfolds as a scapegoat has returned. And the little boy that was picked up as released the scapegoat to get it close. You must each measure the face, deal with clothes.
The skulls are getting cracked. No. Skulls are getting extracted. Their brains are getting extracted. You know what happens when skulls get extracted? Their brains get sucked out, their noses. I'm gone. Please believe.
The recordings did not show a person panicking after a crime. They showed someone whose mind already seemed to be circling around something horrific before investigators even understood what had happened. After his arrest, detectives questioned Alex about the evidence found inside the home.
Do you believe that deoxyribonucleic acid is an indicator to identify who an individual is? So you can tell the difference between the blood of a fox and the blood of a human being?
Yes.
What do you think the blood under your mattress showed?
That's the blood from period.
From period?
Yeah, I'm on this period.
And what woman would that be?
Oh, she doesn't stay in.
Just know that the blood that was in the box.
That box. That's a fox blood there.
What if I told you that it wasn't? What if I told you that that was human blood?
Then I have to show you exactly. It wasn't dried up, but especially.
There's a little bit of both.
At first, he tried to explain it away, but as the interrogation continued, his story began to collapse, and eventually, Alex admitted that Cujoy was dead. He told investigators where more remains could be found and gave a confession so unsettling that even experienced detectives had to sit across from him and keep listening.
Where did Cujo want to go?
You're not gonna find this body.
Can you tell me?
I mean, I can direct you to one.
Okay, where is it?
It's right under your nose.
Not at the police station, I hope.
No.
Okay, where?
Well, one is in my stomach, but
Is it in your what? In your stomach? What part was that?
the bottom is hot.
When did that happen?
Yesterday.
Yesterday? The other body parts, are they, can you give me an idea where they are?
You might be able to dump. You might find them.
Did you put them in the rest of the body?
What?
Is it the rest of the body itself? Or did you just cut out certain parts? Or?
So let's dissect it. You looking for his head?
Yes.
Well, his head is taken care of.
Is it in the, how is it taken care of? Can you tell me any more than that?
His head is, you have anybody at the house right now?
Mm-hmm.
Can you get him on the phone? Okay, go to the dining room. Okay, there's a big cabinet, a white cabinet that has like glass shelves on it. Do you see a bag of charcoal? Go ahead and open it.
What is it, Alex?
Do you see it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
What is this inside the bag? What exactly?
That's what we're looking for.
That's what he caught.
And the most disturbing part was not just what he admitted to. It was the way he said it. There was no clear panic, no emotional breakdown, no visible understanding of the horror behind his own words. He spoke about what had happened in a strangely detached way, as if he was describing something separate from himself.
Took the axe. This went to work on his head. And then hit him about twice. And after that, I let him bleed out. And I took his heart off. After I took his heart off, got my knife, cut him off.
I guess his head disgusted you, and you wanted to deform the head, strip away the hands, eat some of them, and you ate his heart.
That's the only part I did eat. I didn't eat his head. I tasted some of it. It's tasted whatever, put some barbecue sauce.
Did you use some barbecue sauce?
It's spice, full baked spice, whole baked some sea salt.
How do you feel now?
Since this is that's horrible.
The missing person case was now confirmed as a murder investigation, and the full reality of what had happened inside that house became almost impossible to believe. Alex Kinua was charged with first-degree murder in the death of Cujoy Bonsafo Agye Cody. He later pleaded guilty but not criminally responsible after psychiatric evaluations found that he could not be held criminally responsible for the crime. He was then committed indefinitely to a psychiatric facility. But even with the legal outcome, the case remains deeply unsettling, because this was not just a murder discovered after the fact. It was a case where the warning signs seemed to appear before the truth came out. In the strange recordings, the earlier violence, the disturbing behavior, and the calm confession that followed. A man had vanished from a home where he was supposed to be safe. His remains were discovered by the very family that had been living under the same roof. And the person responsible had left behind recordings that now felt less like random rambling and more like a glimpse into a mind already moving towards something unthinkable. And if that case felt disturbing, the next one is almost impossible to understand.
They were doing videos of training dogs with firearms, and one of the rounds went into a kid's forehead and dropped him dead.
And then all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, did I get him?" And then and I look at Curtis and I see blood pouring out of his nose and ears.
On June 3rd, 2025, employees at Craftwork K9, a dog training business in Thurston County, Washington, gathered in a field to film a promotional video involving a German Shepherd, a firearm, and a staged bite work demonstration. But within minutes, what was supposed to be content for an advertisement became the final moments of 23-year-old Curtis Gordon's life. Curtis was one of the employees involved in the shoot. He was wearing a protective bite sleeve and positioned near the area where the dog was supposed to react. Wayne Curry, the owner of the business, was holding the dog while firing live rounds toward a target across the field. That detail is what made the setup so dangerous from the beginning. Cameras were rolling, employees were watching, and everyone there seemed to believe they were filming a controlled demonstration. But according to witnesses, Curtis was standing dangerously close to the target area while live ammunition was being used. At first, the shoot continued as if everything was under control. Wayne fired rounds while trying to get the reaction he wanted from the dog. But when the dog did not respond strongly enough, Curtis was reportedly asked to move closer and agitated. That meant the employee in the protective sleeve, the person meant to be part of the demonstration, was now positioned near the direction of live fire. Then, in one sudden movement, everything went wrong. Witnesses said the dog jerked, pulling Wayne's body and the firearm to the side. A live round was fired, and Curtis collapsed almost instantly. For a second, no one seemed to fully understand what had happened. The filming stopped. The field went from a work environment to a scene of panic. Employees rushed toward Curtis, and someone called 911.
911, what are you reporting?
Someone's been shot. My car has been shot.
Okay, what happened exactly?
He got accidentally shot.
Is he conscious?
No.
Is he breathing normally?
No.
If he's unconscious and not breathing normally, we need to start CPR. I can tell you how to do it. Get him on his back on the ground.
Okay. He opened his mouth and he breathed one breath. He's trying to breathe.
Okay. Is his chest rising and falling?
No.
Okay. So then we need to kneel by his side.
Okay.
Put your hand on the center.
He just tried to breathe one. I think his lungs are full of blood.
Okay. Put your hand on the center of his chest, right between the nipples, and put your other hand on top of that.
Oh shit, he's in the top of the head. Okay. He's in the top of the head.
What are they putting on top of the head?
Help him breathe. I'm listening. Yeah, my hands are between his chest.
Did he shoot?
I'll move his head, I think. Maybe he get the blood to come out.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
One. It goes again. There's another breath. 1.
Yeah, that's just reactionary breathing, so just don't worry about that.
2.
The call was desperate from the beginning. The dispatcher tried to guide the employees through CPR, but as they looked at his injuries, the reality of the situation began to set in.
No! 1. No! 1. No! 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. No way! 1, 2. No way! 1, 2. No way! 1, 2.
They were still trying to save him, but everyone on that field could feel that something irreversible had happened.
Where's he at? Where's he at? This building?
I think he's out that way.
To the right?
All the way to the back. Yeah,
to the right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Guys on the ground over there, that's the owner of the place right there. They were shooting a video of what he was saying about guns and dogs. Guns right there. Something happened. I didn't get the whole thing about, and there's a guy over there had, looks like he's got the leash in his hand. But somehow he got in the way, dog jerked him.
Why is he being held down?
He's not being held down.
Okay.
No. He is just distraught.
Okay.
And he was up when we got here, and then when we pronounced the guy, he just lost it. He's been that way. They're just trying to console him.
When deputies arrived, they found Curtis on the ground and Wayne nearby, emotionally overwhelmed. At 10:37 a.m., Curtis Gordon was pronounced dead. But as investigators began looking at the scene, The first question was obvious. Why was anyone firing live rounds during a staged video shoot with an employee downrange?
There were 3 people, Connor, Craig, and Kaylin, doing videos and pictures. Wayne, the owner, was shooting, and he said that Wayne had the dog.
They were doing videos of training dogs with firearms, and rather than using blanks, one of the rounds went into a kid's forehead and dropped him dead.
But look at that, that's head height. So why would you be shooting at the, according to them, he was shooting at the target.
Where are the rounds at?
I don't know.
And
Apparently the optics went out.
Forward.
Yeah, you've got, yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless he just hung a new one.
Police later found dozens of shell casings in the grass, yet investigators noted there did not appear to be a single bullet hole in the paper target. That raised even more questions about where the rounds had been going and how controlled the demonstration really was. Employees told investigators that this was only one of the first times they had filmed content involving dogs and guns. In earlier demonstrations, they said, the weapons had been unloaded or handled more cautiously. But this time, live ammunition was being used while Curtis stood near the shooting area.
Basically the way it's supposed to happen is you're supposed to heel around with a dog between your legs with a gun in your hands and shoot a target, put your gun down, then you continue with bite work.
They wanted to do an advertisement on gunbroker.com, so he was trying to do a specific ad campaign. And so he started shooting at the target. And he stopped and said, "Oh, Curtis, maybe you can get a little bit closer in." So he wanted the dog looking forward, so he wanted the dog to pay attention to Curtis while he shot at the target. So he probably had Curtis move in like 30 feet to the left of where he was shooting.
30 feet from the target, or from
30 feet to the left from the target.
Left
but
of the
down
target,
range.
okay. Downrange, okay.
Yes.
So first the dog was just quiet and unbothered by it, so he kind of wanted more out of it, so he asked Curtis to agitate the dog. And as Curtis was agitating the dog, he was still shooting in the whole process. He never stopped shooting until the dog jerked his leg, I'm guessing, and jerked him to the side, and his gun went towards Curtis.
And then all of a sudden I hear, "Oh, did I get him?" And then and I look at Curtis and I see blood pouring out of his nose and ears.
I remember I had the camera on the boss. I was watching the boss. I heard a shout at me, and I look over and I see my brother on the ground. That's all I remember about that whole thing.
While Connor grieved in shock and silence, his older brother Kevin arrived with a very different reaction.
Who is that?
That's my brother.
No, please stop. No, stop. We're happy to let you see him at some point, but we can't let you go there right this second, okay? So we just need you to wait back here.
That's what we're here. That's what we're figuring out, right?
Where is he?
It sounds like there was an accident, okay?
Where is he?
Doesn't seem like anything was intentional. He's back here, but we can't let you back there right now.
What happened?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out. Okay? This sounds like there was an accidental shooting. There was some training going on with live fire, and it sounds like there was a stray round that went off.
Is this a joke?
No.
No.
I'm sorry.
Where was he shot?
Who's this?
I don't know anything. Idiots. He's dead, huh?
Your brother is deceased.
Who shot my little brother?
That's figuring that all out, right?
Oh, I'm gonna kill that mother. You fucking. I'm gonna kill that mother.
I totally understand your frustration.
My little brother's dead right there?
He's back there, yeah. And your other brother is here also, so the best thing that you can do right now is comfort your other brother.
For a stupid video! For what? Mother, I'll kill you. What the happened? No, hey, bull, what the happened? What stupid, what game is that? Playing around with guns. Whose idea?
Wayne.
No.
Yeah, I know. Be here for Connor, please.
Be here for Connor. He's dead.
In his rage and heartbreak, Kevin did not yet realize he was grieving the wrong brother.
It wasn't Connor. It was you or Curtis.
It is.
It's Curtis. Connor's. Connor's right here.
Sorry, bro. I'm really sorry, man. I'm sorry, bro. Oh no. Oh no.
We're really sorry for your loss, man.
Dude. You. Wayne, dude, put a bullet in that motherfucker's head for me. Old fat piece of heartless.
To understand exactly what happened, investigators had to speak with Wayne himself. A conversation that would soon take an urgent and unexpected turn.
I haven't used a rifle yet.
Is that a new rifle?
It's a rifle that I've had for years. I just can't shoot it.
Okay.
We were just doing the pistol, and this time it's the rifle.
The sight on the gun is an electronic sight, and he was talking about, oh, is this thing dead? The battery's dead, so he was just gonna have to kind of with no sight.
It's a ambidextrous one, so you can hold it in one hand or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
The problem that I think happened is must have been like this. I mean, lightning fast.
Yeah.
I think the dog did this, and there might have been a reflex, but I saw him drop. I thought, did he do that to fake it? They were making a movie. And he didn't get up. And then it was like, they called 911, and the guy that works for me, and he looked like he was breathing. And there wasn't a lot of blood or nothing, so I'm holding his head, and I said, man.
Wayne falls silent, and nearly a full minute passes before the detective is heard again.
Try to breathe. Try to breathe.
Yep.
Just breathe. Right? Just try to breathe. Can I get one of the medics over here?
Are you still here?
Yep, we're still here.
We're still here, Wayne.
They tried to get me to count to 10, and I couldn't make it to 7.
Let's try 5.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
1.
Good.
Go! Go!
Hey Wayne, while this is going on, just take your time. But I'm gonna just so you're aware, if you've seen him, I'm gonna snap a couple pictures because you got some stuff on you.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I
I
just
know what I got on me, dude. It's real bad.
I know. I just want to document.
I know.
It,
I know.
I know.
No, no.
Wayne's emotional breakdown seemed to earn sympathy from the detectives, but Curtis's brother had none left to give.
You can put a bullet in Wayne's head for me. Please. Please.
That won't bring your friend.
No, it won't. It won't. It won't even make it feel better either, but he deserves it.
Well,
My little brother, man. He's just an old senile who shouldn't even have his driver's license, let alone own 50 unregistered guns. Yeah.
Did you in any way mean to harm
Of
Curtis
course
today?
not. No, not in a million years. Of course not.
Okay.
We were all excited because we're doing this advertisement why people should get a dog instead of a gun.
But investigators, as well as the people who worked there, wanted to know why Curtis had to risk his life just to prove that point.
Must have pulled it really
Really
to
hard.
the left.
It's a big pull.
Yeah.
Why would you do this?
I don't know. I'm sure he's going to be asking that for the rest of his life.
Meanwhile, seated in the back of a patrol car, Wayne struggled to accept what had happened that morning.
No! No, 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 no.
Why you would shoot with somebody downrange, anyways. Ever.
Well, that's what he said. He goes, "Oh, it sounds really stupid now, doesn't it?" And I was like,
Yeah, it does.
What a fiasco, huh?
No! 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 Oh, no! No!
Were you yelling something? Hard time what? Just take some deep breaths. Take some deep breaths.
It's like the Baldwin movie scene.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
100%.
Oh, Rust.
Huh?
Rust?
Yeah, with
That's
Rust, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though I think this is more up than Rust. Because at least the actor could have said, like, I didn't expect it to be live rounds. Where it's like, oh yeah, I put live rounds in there and it worked. I was like, go run.
Help me, Lord. I need you. I don't know what else to do. I can't believe this happened. Oh.
But while Wayne appeared genuinely devastated by what had happened, investigators began digging deeper, and the darker picture around the business slowly came into view.
The work environment was extremely chaotic. Some days were really great, some days were really bad. It would just really kind of depend on the mood of Wayne and what he wanted that day, the weather, those kind of things. When you actually got in there and saw what happened behind the scenes, it wasn't pretty.
Current and former employees began describing a workplace that they said was chaotic, unpredictable, and often frightening. They alleged that Wayne could be emotionally volatile, that people were afraid of how he would react, and that employees did not always feel able to refuse what he asked them to do.
All of it, he said, was in the name of training, and shared that there's a lot of training techniques and things that are done to get the dogs at the highest level that are a little bit less than socially acceptable. So I witnessed on multiple occasions, he would kick dogs in the ribs. He would kick male dogs in the private parts from behind to catch them off guard if they were being ornery during protection. I watched him drag a dog across the field one time because it wasn't healing properly on his side. So he just kept yanking it by the neck until it, stayed with him. But it was obviously terrified and trying to get away from him.
No!
Another instance I saw, he lifted a dog up by the leash and the collar, and it was choking. It peed all over itself, just terrified in a room. It was just me and him in a room. He didn't want anyone else to see that, but the dog wasn't sitting close enough to him.
Gosh, that sucks.
You get enough air back there a little bit? Okay.
He just gets to sit in the back of a cold cop car. Turn that off. No AC for that old man. Let him sit in there and die.
A lot of the times the dogs were just left in the kennels on end without getting exercise for days at a time. He would ask that we not feed them in the mornings so that they would be hungry for videos.
For one instance, he was working with a dog that was pregnant. She wasn't listening and being relatively, stubborn, didn't want to listen to him, and he did end up kicking her in the stomach.
Do you know what resulted of that dog's pregnancy?
I'm not sure because I actually ended up quitting that week because of that.
And if you thought it could not get any worse than this, it actually did.
If there was puppies that were not up to his standards, there was one dog that didn't have a fully developed ear. He had us put the live puppies in the freezer until they died.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many would you say were put in like that?
While I worked there, probably at least 10. Or at one time, I heard over the walkie-talkie that Wayne just he didn't want to waste the vaccination on a dog that probably wouldn't make it through the night.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty cheap. I mean, I grew up on a farm. It's not that much money for vaccination. So he'd rather just kill him.
Anytime he'd do that, I'd see him in the office in my files where I would keep puppy vaccines and all these medical records, and he would dig out the dog that he killed and get rid of the records.
The owner, Wayne, was very emotionally turbulent.
No.
He would get in employees' faces and scream and yell and just make them feel extremely scared and uncomfortable.
I have to care about the other people.
Yeah, we're with, I got another channel.
Yeah, you told me that.
He would snap. It was almost, I don't want to call it bipolar because that's a medical thing, but he almost had a bipolar split personality disorder. He was this really nice guy sometimes, and then he was this really awful guy other times.
He cornered me in my office, which I could not get out of, and he was shaking his fist in my face, cussing at me, and he was upset that I hadn't paid one of his personal bills. Mind you, I'm 5 feet tall, and a gun, a pistol, fell out of his jacket pocket and hit the floor.
They were teeny. They're teeny.
He would like get in my face and scream at me. He would shake me. There was another time when I saw him physically attack the other manager on the property.
I saw him, and it was recorded. Of course, I don't think it's around any longer, but he beat one of the employees with a dog whip.
I'm sorry. What?
He was doing a video, and he was trying to get one of the employees to handle a dog. He wasn't doing it correctly, or not the way that Wayne wanted it done. And he hit the man with a dog whip consecutive times. Of course, they were told to erase that video.
And the stories about the work environment did not stop there. Almost everyone investigators spoke to seemed to describe the same pattern. A workplace where Wayne's behavior was unpredictable, intimidating, and difficult to challenge. Former employees also told authorities about serious issues behind the scenes, including a sexual harassment lawsuit that had already led to a judgment of more than $200,000 against the business. And when investigators asked about firearms, the concerns became even more disturbing. Employees said previous gun videos had been done with unloaded weapons, or with people moved away before live rounds were used. But on the day Curtis died, live ammunition was being fired while he stood near the target area. Witnesses also said Wayne had pointed guns around carelessly before, with employees being flagged by the barrel multiple times. To them, this was not just one tragic mistake. It was the result of a workplace where people were afraid to speak up, and where Curtis may never have felt like he truly had a choice.
Any issues mentioned with the firearm at all today?
No, I would say Wayne's the issue. He doesn't know how to handle a gun.
Okay.
Clearly.
He just should have been more prepared and not had that gun loaded. He made a very, very bad decision, and I'll pay for it.
I thought they would never use live rounds. I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, if it was me, I would have used like a CO2 pistol.
When Wayne sees and thinks something, or thinks that something is a good idea, for example, this tragic thing that happened to an incredible human being, you've got to be dumb. You literally have to be out of your mind to think that that was a good idea. Curtis would have said the same thing. He and any person in their right mind knows that you never let a gun get pointed at you. If Curtis had a choice, he would not have been standing in the line of that gun. I know for a fact he did not have a choice in that moment, and something tragic happened. If he would have said, no, I'm not going to do that, Wayne would have flipped.
I get the general consensus that people are genuinely afraid of him.
He's crazy. I mean, I not to be exaggerating, but I've never met anybody like him.
Those statements changed the entire weight of the case, because this was not just a tragic accident during a video shoot. It was a young employee placed in a dangerous situation while cameras were rolling, live rounds were being fired, and the person in charge was trying to capture a specific moment for content. And while all those other allegations did not change what had happened in the field, they made the case feel even more unsettling, because the fatal mistake no longer looked like one isolated lapse in judgment. It looked like the final outcome of a workplace where dangerous decisions may have been normalized long before Curtis ever stepped onto that field. Wayne Curry told investigators he never meant to hurt Curtis. He appeared shaken, overwhelmed, and unable to process what had happened. But intent was not the only question. The question was whether the situation should ever have been allowed to happen at all. Wayne was later arrested and charged with first-degree manslaughter. He was released on bond, ordered to stay away from certain witnesses, and told to surrender his firearms. According to the case details, he was later accused of violating that order. As of the most recent information available, Wayne was awaiting trial. And that is what makes this case so disturbing. Curtis Gordon did not die during a robbery, a confrontation, or a dangerous police chase. He died while helping film a promotional video for his workplace. He was there to do his job. The cameras were supposed to capture an advertisement. Instead, they captured the moment a reckless idea became fatal. And a 23-year-old employee took his final breath in a field where he should never have been placed in the line of fire. And what comes in this next one turned the entire broadcast into evidence.
Hey everybody, just figured I'd send a quick check.
For those of you who aren't aware,
My little brother has passed away, and it's a lot to deal with. Just keep supporting.
In July 2022, 15-year-old Timothy Ferguson was found dead inside his family's home in Norton Shores, Michigan. At first, his mother, Shanda Vander Ark, tried to present his death as a tragic accident. She claimed Timothy had fallen from a bunk bed and was not breathing. But when officers arrived, it quickly became clear that the story did not match what they were seeing.
Oh, ma'am. I'm Officer Stefanich. Right now we got some people coming over to talk to you, okay?
He's been wearing really loose clothes the last couple of weeks.
He's really skinny.
He's really skinny, and I didn't notice till this morning because he wouldn't, I asked him if he's okay, and he would not answer me. He's 15, he's been...
He has autism?
Yeah.
Like a high-functioning?
Yeah. I had no clue how bad it was. Oh my God. He did this back in... my husband's stroke was January 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So he did this back in, second week of January for almost 3 weeks. Oh my God. I should have made him eat. I feel like such a failure. You see there's food in the house. I should have done something. Can they really hide that from you like that?
Timothy was severely underweight, visibly neglected, and his condition pointed to something far darker than a sudden fall. Inside the home, investigators found signs that he had been controlled, monitored, and punished over a long period of time. There were cameras, restraints, and messages that showed the abuse was not random. It was deliberate. But one of the most disturbing parts of the case came after Timothy had already died. Just days later, his older brother, Paul Ferguson, went live on Facebook. To the people watching, it looked like a grieving brother trying to speak about a family tragedy. He told viewers that his little brother had passed away and that the family was trying to deal with it.
Hey everybody, just figured I'd send a quick check. We're doing good right now. I just dozed off on the couch unintentionally, and for those of you who aren't aware, my little brother has passed away, and it's a lot to deal with, but we're fine. But just keep supporting. I guess I don't have much I can say right now.
But what those viewers did not know was that Paul was not just mourning Timothy. He had been involved in the abuse that led to his death. That contrast is what makes the footage so chilling. On the live stream, Paul appeared calm, almost casual, asking for support as if the family had simply suffered a loss. But behind that performance was a horrifying truth. Timothy had not died because of an accident. He had died after months of cruelty inside the very home where he was supposed to be protected. As investigators dug deeper, they uncovered thousands of messages between Paul and Shanda. Those messages revealed a system of punishments, restrictions, and control. Timothy was treated less like a child in need of care, and more like someone they wanted to break. And the cameras inside the home made the case even harder to process. They showed that Shanda and Paul knew far more than they first admitted.
It's okay. It's cold. Yeah, I know it's cold, but it's not stiff, so it's okay. Sit up, please. I don't understand. I don't either. Come on, and you're right. Come on, just come on. Come on, get your belt. You are here. Put it on. I just want to make it look like something that way.
They did not simply discover Timothy in distress and call for help. They had time to understand what had happened, and then tried to shape the story before police arrived.
I mean, there's clearly a lot of messages about stuff that you guys are doing with him, about what he's eating, about restricting his food. How did that all work? We stopped the food restrictions recently because we had noticed his end. We wanted to get that back on. We didn't want any of this. We never wanted him to be injured or hurt. I loved him so much. Yeah, I can tell that. I can certainly tell that. And we wanted what's best. Yeah. The thing is, he was stuck in the past. So you stopped the food restriction. When did that end up happening? 2 weeks. Approximately, we were hoping that we could get enough where it would be safe, and then we could continue to add it back to where we wouldn't have to worry, and we could. What were the restrictions? We made sure that it was still something that gave him enough calories and everything. It was rice or bread, and like I said last week, he got pizza.
Eventually, Paul did turn on his mother and testified against her in court. But that did not erase his own role. Shanda Vander Ark was convicted of murder and child abuse and sentenced to life in prison without parole. Paul Ferguson pleaded guilty to first-degree child abuse and was sentenced to 30 to 100 years in prison.
You intentionally and systematically tortured this child. Based on all that, the sentence of the court, you serve 30 years to 100 years in the Michigan Department of Correction.
The live stream did not show Timothy's final breath, but it captured something almost as haunting: the performance that came after it. A brother speaking to an audience as if he was grieving, a mother pretending not to understand what had happened, and a 15-year-old boy who had spent his final months suffering inside a home where the people responsible for protecting him became the ones he needed protection from. That's all for today, folks. If you'd like to see more of this creepy content, click on the video on screen.